Which matter is Mr. Staples here on?
Standard fees.
Is Mr. Hayes here? No? Mr. Hayes didn't appear?
No, ma'am. Mr. Seeger.
I don't see why they would. He's on probation, correct?
It's not here, but Hayes is not here.
Yeah, the Seeger would not need to appear unless he retained him for this purpose. Mr. Staples, Mr. Hayes has failed to appear, so I'll issue a bench warrant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Same to you. Okay. What is your name? Carol?
Yes.
We're on the record in the matter of Farm Bureau Insurance of Michigan versus Avantes Javon Martrice Adams, Shonda Javon Mitchell, an unknown insurance company, and file number 22-02830 GCE. Can I have your appearance, please, counsel?
Yes, good afternoon, Judge Simmons. Mark Heitner appearing on behalf of the Plaintiff Farm Bureau.
Thank you. Is anybody present today on behalf of Avantes Adams or Shonda Mitchell or the unknown insurance company? Okay, I do have someone who's trying to start their audio. Please flash your screen, please. This isn't fluctuating, but- Of course it is. The city attorney does not need to be here for an arraignment on a probation violation. So I don't know why he was here anyways. And he typically doesn't turn his audio. Agreed. I don't know who these people are. Okay, well, whoever's on the Moto G5G will not start their audio, and we've been flashing the screen for their purpose. But they, I guess we'll sit in court and not hear anybody talk. Today was the date and time that was scheduled for a motion to set aside a dismissal. This case was dismissed for lack of progress. It was scheduled for a hearing back on April 18th. The plaintiff's attorney failed to appear. And then there was a May 3rd hearing. Again, the plaintiff's attorney failed to appear. The defendant also failed to appear. And so the case was dismissed. We received a motion to reinstate the case. Why did the plaintiff's attorney continue to fail to appear to court?
Thank you, Your Honor. It was candidly, as I've said in my brief, a error on my part for some reason. Both of those dates were not put in my calendar. I certainly received notice. I was the one that actually filed the motion that was set for April, which was a motion relative to the pleading filed by Ms. Mitchell. And then a pretrial was set thereafter. And I have no reason why it wasn't recorded. I've been practicing for 42 years. It's never happened. So it happened. I apologize. As soon as I called the court, as soon as I realized it, which actually was that same day. And I was told that the case was going to be dismissed, and I filed a motion to reinstate the case the same day.
We did receive your motion. We've not received any response from the defense or anyone on behalf of the defense. We also have not received an appearance today from anyone representing the defendant, nor did anyone appear on behalf of the defendant back on May 3rd. For those reasons, the court will grant the relief that you're requesting. I'll reinstate the case. For the reasons indicated both on the record and in your brief, you're requesting to have a new pretrial and scheduling order.
Yes, Your Honor, that would be fine. The motion that I filed on the only defendant that has appeared, that's Shonda Mitchell. If I need to refile that motion, I'll be happy to do so. It really is a pretty straightforward motion on the pleadings. It was a handwritten answer that really doesn't comply with the court rules. I'm just trying to get a sense of what she's really trying to defend this case on. So if you want me to refile that, I'll be happy to do that. And also, I have just procedurally, I filed a request for a default against the other defendant, which is Adams, Avantes Adams, and that default has not yet been entered.
I'm looking to see if I have a copy of the default in the file. I don't see one.
It would have been sent out, Judge, on April 26th. I am happy to resend that. It was an SCAO form request for default judgment based on a sum certain.
Okay, our GIS system indicates it was received by the court. I just don't see it in the file. Let's see here. See your motion. May 8th in your brief. The trial on this date. I see a proof of service. April 3rd. Yeah, so it's not in the file. I don't know what happened. So if you could resend it for some, I'm not sure why they didn't put it in the file if it was received. If you could resend that, then I could sign the default as to that party, and then we'll have a new pretrial set.
Judge, and I'm happy if we're going to set a new pretrial date, if you want me to refile the motion that was relating to the pleadings on the defendant that has responded, I could set it for the same date to save everybody time and money.
That would be wonderful if you could do that.
And what date will the pretrial be?
Civil gonna set that pretrial? That's gonna be set by the civil department, so they'll notify you in the mail.
Okay, so once I get that, I'll just schedule the hearing for the same date on the motion, and we'll see you at that time.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good one.
You too.
Mr. Woody here? Is Michael Jones here? Michael Jones?
Yes,
Okay, that's Michael Jones. I don't know where, anybody here for Atwood Properties? Who's the Zoom user? Ma'am, are you driving?
No,
What's your name?
Desiree Henry.
Jack Wynn.
What in the world is this doing?
Desiree Henry.
Yeah, we had switched our court date for today.
Okay, yep, you're scheduled for 2 o'clock. We're just waiting for the other party to appear. I'm gonna put you on mute in the meantime, okay? The individual here for Atwood Properties, where's your attorney?
I don't know why he's not here yet, but I'm here for the landlord from Atwood Property LLC.
I recognize that, but we need your attorney.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not showing up here yet.
Okay, well, but your attorney, so if you don't want to call him, I won't either. We're on the record in the matter of Matthew Garrow and Crystal Garrow versus Rite Aid, file number 23-00297 GC, council appearance.
John McManus on behalf of Rite Aid.
And neither of you are represented by counsel, correct? Please state your names on the record.
Crystal Garrow.
Okay, today was the date and the time that was set for a motion to set aside default judgment. I do have a supplemental exhibit to motion to set aside default judgment that was placed in the file. Looks like we received this on the 22nd. Did you all get a copy of that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
On the record,
I'm sorry?
on the record, like they haven't, their attorney hasn't responded to any of the requests that I've asked them for any of the evidence.
So we're addressing a motion to set aside default judgment. Okay, and so this is not your motion. I'm trying to understand why we are addressing a motion to set aside default judgment. Because I advised you, Mr. McManus, that I would reset it.
Well, that is true, Your Honor. Again, John McManus on behalf of Rite Aid, thank you for your time. However, we received a judgment in the mail by default with an amount certain dated April 18. So we had no choice but to file a motion to set aside default judgment.
Okay, that's because by the time you had appeared, they had already completed that default, so it probably had already gone out. But my note here clearly stated that the attorneys appeared late and to reset the pretrial conference. It is also my understanding, although I didn't know that at the time, that you may have called the clerk's office. And so they should have also been aware. So they intended to reset this for another pretrial today, not for a motion to set aside the default. I would have given a non-represented party the same courtesy if they appeared late and had technical issue or whatever the issue may be. I would have reset it. So that's my standard practice. So the motion, I'll leave it in the file, but I've already granted it because I said, I asked for my staff to set this for a pretrial.
Is it this court's predilection to have the pretrial today?
That is correct.
Then we're prepared to go forward with that, knowing that the default judgment has been set aside.
Okay, so with that being stated, I will, you have an electronic device that you can get on Zoom?
No, I mean, we don't have any, I don't have any data.
Okay, we can get you on the court's device and we're gonna put you on Zoom because you all need to complete a joint pretrial statement. That's what we use to kick out our scheduling order. Okay,
Your Honor, if it would save the court time, I'm willing to communicate with the Garrows to pick dates and submit a scheduling order for this court's approval.
they just need, you would need to have their approval. So with that, wouldn't you still need to talk to them on that?
Yeah, I'm willing to do, well, since they're pro se, I can speak to them because they're a party. And they are a
Correct. So
represented party.
we were just put them on we're just gonna put them on Zoom in a private meeting room with you.
Perfect. Does the court have any direction for the parties with regard to the timeline to take this to a trial?
I don't know how much or what they believe they have for witnesses. Was there a demand for jury trial in this?
There's a police report. Oh,
Your Honor, for purposes of the record, following my conversation with you on April 18 regarding the hearing and my late appearance, I did file a notice of a demand for trial by jury, but it was returned to me because there was at that time, according to the clerk's office, a standing default. So I will resubmit the demand for trial by jury,
Okay.
and then we can
You
get
all
on a
just need to
jury.
determine, okay, if that's what you want, you just need to determine how long it's going to take or how long you think this will take. I don't foresee this as being anything more than a day trial.
Sorry, I have evidence on video of their employees saying that there was a data leak and there's.
Okay, I recognize that you have some evidence, but we're trying to figure out how long will it take to present evidence to trial? That's what we're asking.
Okay, yeah,
Because we got to estimate how many days it's gonna take for trial.
okay, yeah,
So you and, because you're representing yourself, you're gonna talk to Rite Aid's attorney.
Right.
You all will talk about that. I don't think this will take longer than a day
okay.
to pick a jury. But you all can determine later if that's the case. You'll also talk about discovery and exchange of discovery if you feel like that's necessary. We'll set a date for that and you can talk about how much time you think you need to do discovery.
Yes, we've revealed everything. They have not revealed anything like to
Okay,
defend themselves.
okay, if you make a request for it, then that's different. I don't know if you made a proper request under the
email.
court rules.
So no, just through email.
Okay, you need to follow the court rules to
Okay.
demand discovery, okay?
I thought there was mandatory things that they were supposed to reveal, but yeah, we will do that for sure, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay, let me get you in a private meeting room and then you can come back with any questions after that, okay?
And Judge, just for clarification purposes, will the court enter the order that we submitted as a proposed order to set aside the judgment? Because at this point, it's still on the record.
Correct. I actually went ahead and signed the order. I'm going to also put a note here in the file for the clerk, reiterating my April 18th note, which stated Rite Aid's attorney appeared late civil to reset pretrial conference was exactly what the note said.
Very well. Thank you kindly for that. And I'll take care of the pretrial order with the Garrows and we'll submit something for the court's signature.
Thank you. And if you don't have questions, you would submit that straight to my courtroom. You can send it to Judge Simmons Courtroom at lansingmi.gov. But if for some reason we need to address some things on the record, and it's quite possible because they're not represented, then I can get their permission to sign in the courtroom.
Very well.
Thank you.
We'll do that as quickly as possible, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. We got a bunch of people in the waiting room. Okay, I see Miss Whitty here. And let me put, is it McManus in room 1? Mr. Hayes left. Looks like.
I think he's back.
Hmm?
I think he's waiting for-
Someone's giving me feedback. It's Miss Whitty. Miss Whitty, you got some feedback going on there.
Is that any better? Is it
Just
reduced?
a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, let's see. Miss Whitty is here on which matter? Okay, we're on the record in the matter of Atwood Properties LLC versus Michael Jones. File number is 23-00022 LT. Appearance for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Joy Whitty appearing on behalf of plaintiff landlord Atwood Properties.
Today was the date and the time that was set for a motion to set aside possession is what is entitled and stop eviction. Mr. Jones is present via Zoom. Mr. Jones, you filed this motion. It said that you've been having trouble with the heat coming on and off for a while and you have to talk to him several times about he sent someone out twice to come and get the heat back on as soon as it's on for a while. When it turned off, it don't come back on and the heat has been off since the 17th of April. However, you were in the court back on April 26th, which was after the 17th of April. You didn't mention anything to the court about an issue regarding heat. However, you did waive your rights and enter into a consent judgment. And you were advised then that the rent to retain was $3,320 plus $220.43 for a total of $3,540.43, and that there was a money judgment to issue as well, and that partial payment would not satisfy that agreement. And so I'm trying to understand why you're coming before the court now trying to address another issue. Can you unmute, please?
Hello?
Yes. You just muted yourself.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
Why are you trying to file a motion to stay the eviction when you entered into a consent judgment?
Well, I filed the most, I should have said something then because like I said, I've been having an issue with the heat and it's still off right now today. But you know, I work out of town like I told him. I had called him several times and he had caused a guy to come out for the heat. And then when they do come out.
You're muted. You're muted, sir. We don't hear you. He's still talking. Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones? We stopped hearing you a long time ago.
Now?
Yes. Okay. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you. So we stopped hearing you after you said you asked them to come out and they didn't come out. And I recognize that that probably happened, but that has nothing to do with the fact that you entered into a consent judgment and you agreed to pay this amount or get out the property by May 8th. Did you pay the amount?
No, I did not.
Okay, well then you got to get out. Your motion is denied. You waived your rights You had the right to have a trial, and we advised you of that before you entered into this agreement. And I have reason to believe that your motion now is in bad faith because you didn't pay the amount.
Okay.
So there's nothing I can do. I gave you 3 business days to return to the court after you entered into that agreement on the 26th of April. If you determined you misunderstood any of the rights that you waived, you never returned to the court and say that you misunderstood any of the rights. You alleged in your motion that this issue was ongoing before you entered into this agreement. So that means you knowingly and willingly entered into this agreement with the issue that you're now trying to claim you need to use to stop an eviction. If you don't have any heat there, then it's all the more reason why you don't want to live there. So you should pack up your things because a writ has been issued, and I have to deny your motion at this time, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
You're all set. Let's see. We're on the record in the matter of LVNV Funding LLC versus Michelle Madsen.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Lynn Olivier, appearing on behalf of plaintiff.
I don't know that we see Michelle Madsen.
She could very well not be here. I just wanted to inform the court that the matter is settled. And once the payment clears, we will be mailing to the defendant a stipulation to dismiss this case with prejudice. Once it's signed and returned, we'll forward it to the court for entry.
Very good. I will note that in the file and we're all set. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Which one is the dismissal for? Is that the pink liner?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But there was 2. Both. This is motion for possession pending judgment. Then there was a pretrial. It was a dismissal for the whole case.
Yeah.
Got it. I want something. Let's see here. Okay, we're on the record in the matter of LAFQ versus Katie Nichols, file number 17-01646 GC. Council appearance.
For plaintiff LAFQ, Tim Smith, P48259. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Today was the date and the time that was set for a debtor's exam. No one's appeared on behalf of Katie Nichols. How do you want to proceed?
Motion to show cause. Is it okay if we prepare and submit that with 9-day mailing? We had personal service with a good address on the original subpoena.
Yes, you may. That works.
Okay, appreciate your help. Have a great afternoon, Your Honor.
Same to you. Thank you. On the record in the matter of Edgewood Villas versus Desiree Henry, file number 22-03865 LT. Council appearance.
Tom Cyber on behalf of the plaintiff.
Desiree Henry was present. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Today was the date and the time that we set this matter for a hearing for non-payment. At the last hearing, which was May 10th, or the pretrial, Ms. Henry represented to the court that there was a leak in her ceiling.
And I wasn't able to bring the pictures in there because the next day after I left court, they came in and took pictures. And I have a video.
I'm
So
sorry.
the video
I'm sorry.
that
Can you see me?
have-
Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? As I want to know, why are you talking over me while I'm trying to talk? You gotta look, because you gotta pay attention to how we flow in court. I recognize you're in the courtroom. I was just gonna say, I thought I ordered you to appear in person, but I could be wrong. Okay, so let me start this over. At the last court date, you indicated to the court that there was a ceiling leaking, mice all over the property, and many different issues as it relates to habitability. I reset this matter to give you time to bring the court some evidence to support your claim. I don't have anything in the file. And why is that? You're muted.
I don't know how I got muted. The next day when you told me to do that, they came in and took pictures and all of that extra stuff. So that's why I figured that I didn't have to do that anymore because of them coming in and taking the pictures. And I only had the video, so I couldn't send I can't get the video off of the phone off at the library when I was trying to go to the library. Like it's only gonna let me like print pictures, and it's not letting me take off the actual video of that I actually recorded. Because I recorded videos, not.
Who came in and took pictures, ma'am?
The maintenance guy.
Okay. Why did you believe
at our
that you
apartment
didn't have
complex.
to? Why did you believe that you didn't have to do what the court told you to do to help your case because they came in and took pictures?
I was explaining to. That's why I just explained to you. I don't have pictures. I only have the videos, and the videos wasn't printing off.
You don't got to print the video off. You see where I am? Where am I?
At the court office. I came down there already
bingo.
one time. I just didn't.
Bingo. You know where you should be with evidence? In the courtroom. Because it's your case.
Correct.
And
I'm sitting, literally sitting right. I understand that, ma'am.
Where are you?
I really do. I truly understand that. I'm literally 5 minutes away from right here at the cat station.
Oh, well,
I was on my way down there,
way.
but then you said don't drive. You said you told me not to drive, ma'am.
Yeah, I didn't tell you not to drive. I asked you where you driving, and you told me no. I never said.
I was driving. I was on my way to the cat station. I was on my way to the court office. But then when you said, "Am I driving?" I said no. I stopped the car at the cat station. I'm sitting here.
Okay, yeah, because I don't want you to be distracted and driving. You can't be in court and driving. All you gotta do is say, though, I need some more time. So you can log off and drive here because you need to be safe.
All right. I'm on my way there now.
Judge, can we just get this rescheduled and then we can be there as well?
So that you can see the video?
So we can be there as well? Yes, ma'am.
Correct, because you would need to see the video. If she has video evidence, you need to see it as well. So that's fine. I'll reset it.
Thank you, ma'am.
You both have to appear in person.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Let me give you the date.
I was about to say there's no right now.
May 31st at 1:30.
May 31st at 1:30 work for you, Mr. Cyber?
I believe I'll be substituting out of this case, Judge. Let me look at the date, though. I can be there,
I
yes,
also have
ma'am.
a judge jury duty that day as well. That's why we didn't schedule it for this date that time.
Oh, okay. Yep, you have jury duty on the 31st. We can reset it.
Do it earlier for me. I don't care.
If you still have the ability to take pictures, ma'am, you need to bring your own pictures. I can trust and believe that they're not bringing pictures to help you. Okay. They're not going to turn.
I'm not saying that they're trying to help me. I'm just saying if they already got the pictures, if they taking the pictures, if I already took the video of the ceiling leaking, if I took a video, I didn't take a picture because the picture is not going to show you that the water is leaking.
Right, but you also said
they came in. He said that the thing. Well, the mice they only come in the wintertime. When the wintertime comes, there's a crack in my door is what I'm telling you. The back door, there's a crack back there. It's a big old crack back there, about this big, and the mice come in the wintertime. There's mice all over the stove and everything in the wintertime is what I'm explaining to you. I never said that there's mice there all the time. I'm saying when the wintertime comes, I have mice. I have mice all over the place. My kids come running and screaming up to the stairs. There's a mouse on the stove. There's a mouse on the stove. I can't catch the mouse on the stove because it's fast. It's running back into the oven.
I can't do this.
2:30.
June 14th at 2:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
What is June 14th?
And then you said I can come
Okay.
down there right now. I could bring my videos down there, correct?
Well, you should bring the video on June 14th because we can't, you're gonna bring, it's on your phone? Okay,
Yes.
you'll bring it back on, you'll bring it with you and any other evidence on June 14th, okay?
Yeah, because I just got some violations for stuff. All of a sudden, they just start sending me violations. I have never had a violation since I've been living out here. All of a sudden, I just started getting violations ever since I left court.
Okay, well, you bring those as well. We'll talk about that then, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, will you escrow rent by chance?
Yeah, you can file a motion for escrow and I'll
Thank
review
you.
it.
Thank you.
Who's next? I guess it's the last one. This is the matter of Todd Dowrick versus Marquette Brown. File number 23-00226 LT. Here's for the record. And you are Miss Marquette Brown, correct? Okay, give me just a moment. Okay, who is here from Edgewood Village?
From the property manager, this is Martha Eller.
Okay, your matter was reset because the parties needed to bring video evidence in person.
Yes.
So you're all set.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Mr. McManus, were you all able to complete a joint pretrial statement?
We do have dates. I'm going to submit it in a written form to the address that you provided. I was hoping they would stay on.
They're in the courtroom.
Oh, they are in the courtroom. Okay, fine. So yeah, we picked dates. If you'd like us to give them to you on the record and then I can submit the paperwork. Excuse me. I'll be happy to do that now.
Okay, let me call the case then off the
Sure.
record on that case. Back on the record, and Matthew and Crystal Guerrero versus Rite Aid. The parties did meet privately. You can come up so that you can be picked up on the audio there. Did meet privately to go over joint pretrial statement and set dates for their scheduling order. Mr. McManus, you can put those dates on the record.
Thank you kindly, Your Honor. We've agreed to a discovery cutoff of August 15th. A witness list exchange of August 29th. A motion for summary disposition filing due date of October 3rd. A settlement conference on a day of the court's choosing in the week of November 3rd. And trial a day of the court's choosing the week of November 27th.
And that sounds accurate to you, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can get everything done in that amount of time with information and.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds accurate to you, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, and so he's gonna file that with the court. Are you giving your permission for him to sign the document with those dates on it with your permission?
Yes.
What?
He's just gonna sign something stating that these are the dates you agreed to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you do give him permission to sign on your behalf.
Yes.
Okay, so he'll submit that directly to the court. I'll review and sign it, and then you'll get a copy of the scheduling order in the mail, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions today?
Yeah, the motion for dismissal, he's file an motion summary disposition. To fight against that, I just don't understand because he has no evidence of what he's talking about. I don't understand how he.
You have to file
How
a
do you
written
fight against
response.
it?
You file a written response.
File a written response.
Mhm, That's
Okay,
correct.
Okay, and do it, and I will send you a written response.
Yep,
him
and
a
you serve
response.
him, correct.
Thank
And
you,
You can
Your
find
Honor.
all that in the court rules, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any other questions? Okay. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hayes logging in again. Can someone just reset him in person? Okay, back on the record. In the matter of Todd Doward versus Marquette Brown. This matter is scheduled for hearing. So the defendant moved out the first week of February, correct? Second week of February. I think there was an issue of a check that was cashed.
Yes.
I see an answer here. It says rent for January 2023 was received on March 2023. $50 per month. No other money was charged for a late fee. The demand for possession, non-payment of rent was mailed on January 4th. The case was filed January 19th. January rent was not paid at the time of filing because the tenant was renting the property on the month-to-month basis. The tenant never provided a 30-day notice to vacate. Brad Dowrick found out the tenant moved on February 28th from the tenant on the other side of the duplex. Ms. Brown did not provide her new address, and the tenant in the other unit informed Brad Dowrick that Ms. Brown moved across the street in the end of February. On January 10th, Ms. Brown informed Todd Dowrick that her furnace was tagged by consumers. At 6:01 a.m. the same day, Todd Dowrick informed the tenant that he would contact the furnace repairman to repair the furnace. The repairman was scheduled for noon at 10:39 a.m. Ms. Brown informed the landlord that the Board of Water and Light shut off her electric for non-payment. The furnace repairman appointment was canceled as the furnace cannot be repaired without electricity. On January 12th, Ms. Brown informed Mr. Dowrick that the electricity was back on. The furnace repairman came the same day and installed a new furnace. The tenant did not make any request to Brad Dowrick for toilet repair. The property is a registered rental property with the city of Lansing. Ms. Brown ceiling or installed ceiling fans without knowledge or permission of the landlord. The landlord does not allow tenants to do electrical work of any kind. The tenant did not take the ceiling fans when she vacated the property. The lights that were removed to install the ceiling fans were not left at the property. The security deposit was $500, not $850. The tenant left garbage in the kitchen, garage, yard, and deck when she vacated. Mr. Dowrick did not enter negative remarks to any websites, although the tenant was taken to court several times for non-payment of rent. The landlord is not in violation of MCL 600.2918. The tenant moved out of the property without giving a 30-day notice or providing a new address. The property was rented commencing on April 21st, 2023. Mr. Dowrick requesting money judgment from February and March at the rent of $1,025 per month, plus late fees of $50 per month. And Mr. Dowrick requests court fees of $110 and service fees of $30.40. That's your position, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you received that in the mail at all?
I did.
Okay, and so you want to respond to that, ma'am?
I responded to the previous court date that we had about him holding on to the January's rent. And I was answering his questions to that.
Okay, the January rent,
Yes.
that was received in March or?
Yes, because what had, can I explain it now?
Yes, please.
Okay, what had happened was in January 4th, I went to my credit union and I did my cashier's check for my rent as I always do. As in those pictures that you have, I gave you a picture of
The
the,
pictures. Wait a
that
minute.
wasn't that what I filed the last time.
Let me open up this file. See, they just throw stuff in here. Nobody tells me there's stuff in here. And then they give me the file the day of.
Yeah, that's what
You
happened.
think
with
I've
us
seen
being
this
the last
stuff.
time. Yeah,
And Civil had the file until today.
that's what happened. That's why we're here today. So
Let's see, I don't see anything from you yet. Let me, okay, this is, I have a civil answer, which I thought came from Mr. Doward.
there should be
With a
one for
copy
me
of a
too.
residential lease. Who did this with the highlighting? Is that you?
That was it.
Okay, so I don't think maybe there's another packet in here. Okay, so then Mr. Darrow attached some pictures too, correct?
No, I had the pictures in his.
Did you
packet,
attach
there
some
was no
exhibits with
pictures.
this?
I attached exhibits, but not pictures.
Or like screenshots? Did you attach?
No, I have
Sugar
the
Brown.
pictures.
Are you Sugar?
Yeah. That shouldn't have
Okay.
been on there.
Well, these, did you attach these?
Yes, ma'am, those are mine.
Okay, that was, okay, sounds good. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right packet. I thought this packet came from Mr. Dowd, so I wanted to be clear. Okay, and so there was a notice to appear, defendant's answer to complaint and affirmative defenses. This might be what you're talking about, ma'am. And so. We filed this on May 5th. And you filed a counterclaim. Did you receive that, Mr. Dowry?
Yeah.
Did you respond to that counterclaim? Is that what your
That's what my
was?
answer is.
Got it. Let's see here. And then you made a request for discovery. Okay. I see these attachments, and so.
How they were printed off, they're kind of all over the place, so can I kind of guide you through it?
Yes, please.
Okay. This one here is the first one.
This is a check.
This is the check. This is the cashier's check. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
This
Mr.
is-
Jarrett, do you have a copy of this?
I do. Yeah.
This is the cashier's check that I had made at Astera Credit Union. It was printed on January 5th, as you see as the date on there. It was mailed out at the main post office on Jolly and Dunkel the same day. So I sent it directly to his address, which I always do. I was notified at the credit union on March, I believe it was 13th, that Mr. Doward cashed the check on March 10th. And this is what he had the eviction out for me was for January's rent. Well, there's text messages in here as well that he's asking me for the rent. And I specifically asked him one specific day that he called and asked me about it, that if you have not gotten it in the next couple of days, that I would call the credit union, stop payment on that one and issue you another one right out, because that's how I do it at the credit union. So next thing I know, I get the eviction notice in the mail. But I also asked them, has that been cashed? They told me at this time it had not been cashed. So every other week I called the credit union, it had not been cashed until March 10th. So we had court here again on March 29th. My question was, he had 10 days or more in order to let them know that he had received it. My thing was, why did it take 3 months in order for him to receive that when I've been there 4.5 years and this has never happened? So we go back to the text messages, and only thing he's always texting me is, have I moved? Am I out? I've requested repairs for that home for the last 3 years. I have text messages from him to him, and I have messages also to his son about all the repairs. I have one video, there's pictures in here that I sent to you. I have one video because I got a new phone, so all of them didn't transfer over. I have a video of the water just pouring out in the basement, and this goes on and on and on. And it's not the first or second time that I've texted him all of this, the videos, the pictures, everything. I've had my dad, my uncle, which is one of his old maintenance men, is how I got into this home. So if I can go down to answer, can I answer his request or whatever that he has on here?
But you want to respond to his answer to your complaint, your counterclaim?
Yes.
Well, not at this time, because I gotta, let's address this and then I'll let you go back to that at this
Okay.
point. Let's answer the question as to the check, because I do see where you're talking about the furnace. And there's a question, or he stated that rent needs to be paid, you have to file another eviction. You said it's paid, you sent a receipt, there's question marks. And then I do see this check, which was cut on the 5th day of January. It's stamped here that it was cashed on the 9th of March. So you did receive the check.
On March 4th, and I can speak to that. I have it. I have a copy of it right here. So, so this was received on March 4th. My wife, her beautiful handwriting, certainly not mine, wrote received 3/4/23. This money order is dated January 5th. The envelope is stamped January 5th. However, this was received on March 4th.
I don't know who wrote that there or when they wrote that
Well,
there.
I'm testifying under oath. I'm under oath.
Yeah, but you didn't say you received it. You can't testify as to when she received it.
I'm saying,
She would have to be here to testify. That's hearsay.
if I may, so I have the actual envelope.
Okay.
The envelope, once again, her writing, received 3/4, is a clear opening. You can't, so somewhere there must have been an address there. Perhaps you couldn't see my address. Her return handwriting is very poor. I think the post office would have a very hard time returning it to the post office. My guess would be that the address, the name and address
Let me
didn't
see.
come through.
I'm not gonna surmise as to what the post office did, or I don't think they held on anybody's mail for 2 months and then say, you know what? This is the address it's supposed to go to, then you get it, and then you sign it. I don't see,
That's what I got.
I don't. This is stamped with the 5th of January, so she has a receipt where she had the check cut and sent on the same date. And then the check was clearly cashed about 2 months later. I don't think there was any error on her part. She did what she was supposed to do. I recognize that there's some handwriting here that says received 3/4, but that person is not in the courtroom to swear under oath under the penalty of perjury. So I can't hear testimony as to when it was received. You can't testify as to that.
If I may respond to that. The money order didn't come. It's a very simple process. It does happen from time to time. All the person has to do is call the money order place. They cancel that money order. They get a new one issued and a new one sent. Problem solved.
You talking about this money order that was cashed?
What Ms. Brown could have done, because I did not receive that money order. And that's why I filed the case.
Well, someone did receive it because it was cashed.
On March 10th, it was cashed.
When did you, wait a minute, did you notify her once you realized we do got this check?
No.
I think I did.
No,
What
you
day?
did not. No.
You have the records.
What's that?
What day did you notify her after you realized we do have the check?
I can
was
check
no
my-
And that, ma'am, please don't talk over me. And it says here, 2727, her address, I can read it. I don't see why the post office would struggle with that. I'm sure they've seen worse handwriting than that.
A zip code, a faulty zip code. If they can't read it, I mean, this is my life.
What do you mean a faulty zip code?
If they can't read it clearly, if they can't read the address clearly, it will not get to me.
Is this Stoneway?
Or it won't get back to that
This is on
person.
Stoneway?
Yes.
That
but
is
Your
the
Honor,
correct zip code.
in those text messages that you have, I also stated to him that if you do not receive in the next couple of days, please let me know and I will go to the clerk.
Did he respond to you
Stop payment on this.
after that and
He
said I didn't receive it?
said, no, he said, okay, you have those.
So you never told her you didn't receive it. She asked you, she said, if you don't, she said it was sent, she sent your text message. It was sent. If you don't receive it within the next couple of days, then let me know. You said, okay. Did you ever follow back up and say we still didn't receive it?
I told her repeatedly that I didn't receive it. We had arguments.
What is
over-
that, ma'am?
This states exactly what I just said. It shows here where I said, if you do not receive it, let me know and I will contact the credit union to stop payment.
I get it. That's what I just asked him.
He-
So
yeah.
I've already got, I'm one step ahead of you.
I'm
We already
sorry.
did that. You can put that page down. Now I want to know, did he ever respond and say, no, I'm not asking you, I'm asking for him.
I'm sorry.
Because he may have sent it to you and maybe there was a failure in the cell phone delivery. I don't know. Did you ever send her anything back saying, hey, I still haven't got that money order?
Okay, yes, so I have my text. You have a copy of it.
Okay.
If you would look at Friday, February 10th at 2:03 p.m. I don't have your rent for January or February. Do you have your rent? Have you moved out? On February 14th, you now owe $2,150 through February. Ms. Brown responds.
I see that. Yep. Do you have it? January rent is still not cash. Do you have it? I'm holding on to February rent in escrow account. Okay, so two things. He did notify you that he had not received the January check. He told you that on February 14th.
Exactly, but
Number
Your
one,
Honor,
that's
I had
number one.
already
Two,
asked him
number-
to notify me if, I'm sorry, I thought you were asking me a
Okay,
question.
that's number one. Number two, the text also says that you escrowed February rent. You have proof of that.
I didn't bring it, I'm sorry. I didn't bring the escrow receipts or
Who
anything.
was you
because-
escrowing it at?
At Astera, because I moved.
So if I call
and
Astera, I can
It would
confirm
just
it.
be in my regular account. It's not a label.
So it wasn't
escrow.
an escrow account.
It was just in my bank account.
So that's not escrow.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Okay, so.
But if you look at the dates, Your Honor, it said February.
Correct.
He cashed it March 9th. So he did not notify me after he received it. But I did ask him to let me know if he did not, and I would stop payment and issue him another one.
I understand
After
that.
he had cashed it on March 9th, he did not let me know that he had received it.
Okay, had you notified Astera to get a new check already?
Yes, I called and asked questions about it to see if it had been cashed. They told me it had not until March 9th. So March 10th. So there was no need for me to issue another one because he had already cashed it.
Well, so you didn't contact them until after March 9th then?
No, I contacted them in the January and 3 times in February.
Yeah, but if you contacted them all those times, they would have told you that it was not cashed.
They did.
And so his concern is why didn't you send a new check?
Because he never notified me that he.
Well, he
had
told you in
received it, so
February. It was
Right,
almost
but
30
he-
days, a little less, maybe 3 weeks prior to him cashing the check.
Because for one, Your Honor, I've been in this house for 4.5 years and I never had this issue before until he started texting me that have I moved out? He wanted me to move because the young lady next door is paying $1,400. So when I checked to see if it had been cashed, no, I didn't stop payment then because I still want, that check is still out there. So I want to know, was he holding on to it? Just like I assumed he was holding on to it because you cashed it on March 9th.
Okay, so I see the February 14 response, which is quite lengthy. You look like you're pretty upset.
That's because I'm going through a lot. and
I
keep
see
getting
that, I
different
see
rabbits.
that. And you state that, you say you can't flush your toilet, your lock on your sliding door is, I don't know, mold in the basement, broken window, and the list goes on. No repairs have been done in here in months. I'm disabled and on disability, and make sure my rent is paid somehow so that my kids and I are not homeless. Okay, let's see. You asked, do you have the January rent? His response was, I don't have the January rent, so that was on the 14th of February. There's no more communication I see, at least, between the two of you until March 31st, is that correct?
I'm believing so for March 14th, yes.
Okay, so you never went and got a new check, which clearly wasn't necessary because eventually this check was located and cashed. You never notified her that the check was cashed.
I believe I did, no,
Well, I don't see it. And it looks like you guys communicate via text.
not exclusively.
Yes.
So maybe in your call logs, you'll see where you called her around the 4th or something. Maybe you'll see that.
I reached out to her a lot.
Okay, but you think you might have, but you're not sure. She said you didn't.
No, I did.
I'm inclined to believe that she didn't though. Because it was the first, because I don't see any evidence of that. And I don't see any communication with the two of you until then. And she brought up the fact, the first we heard about the check being cashed was at the last court date, which is how we got here. Okay, and so then the February rent was being held. This eviction's already pending, correct?
It was not for February. I never received anything for February.
Well, no, you say you were holding the February rent in escrow.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So that means
Are
this
you
eviction
saying-
was filed.
The eviction was filed for January. I never.
Well, this
received-
rent still accrues if you're still living there.
Well, I guess so. I
You
mean,
said,
I
and that's
don't-
why you said you put the rent in escrow. He asked for the February rent. You say you put it in escrow.
Yes, because I felt like he was trying
Because of the
to make
property.
me move. Yes,
Because of
all
the issues in the property.
Yes.
So
and
now,
there's
so
no-
now here comes your counterclaim.
Okay.
And so I see, well, what is this?
Those are leakages from the walls coming up out of the ceiling. And if you see behind one of the pictures don't show, but behind the washer and dryers where all of the mold was along the top of it, there's a hole in the wall there as well.
Where's the picture of the hole in the wall?
It doesn't show, I'm guessing she didn't print because I had the legal aid lady print.
Yeah, I want to see the pictures of the hole in the wall, and I want to see the
I
pictures
have
of
a video.
the leakage from the ceiling. I don't want to see what's on the ground next to a washer. This could have came from a washer, or
No,
this drain is here for a reason, right?
Yeah,
So-
but if you see that those are brown and they're coming from the side walls, those are leaking out of the walls, not the.
I
floor.
can't tell where it's coming from because the brown
It's right up
stops right there.
Right, they didn't circle it, but right up, go further up. No, further up, there's holes right there. Yeah, that's
Okay, so
one,
this,
and there's another.
what
one
is that hole?
It's just a hole there that that water or leakage or liquid comes out of.
So your
I have a
allegation is
video.
that there's liquid coming out of those holes.
I have a video.
I do
where-
see, I do see something going on here in this picture. I don't know. Does Mr. Darrick know what that is? What is that?
Like a stain of some sort.
Yeah.
A stand?
Stain.
Well, it's a hole of some sort. I don't know if there was a pipe there.
No,
No? Why is there a hole there?
There is no hole there.
there's just a hole there, and that's where the fluid and the dirt and everything comes from outside. If you
Yes.
see that, and then there on, like I said, I have a video, you see where the two lines are going to the drain, those are from those holes. I have a video where you can hear and see the water just pouring out. And this is the third time that they've covered the hole, and it's a hole this size. I have the video on my phone.
This same hole?
No. It's
Another
one.
hole?
It's
Where's
another
that?
hole.
This is in the basement?
Yes, this is in the basement. This one is in the middle of the wall in the basement.
So these are issues that are happening in the basement of the property?
Just these ones, yes.
Okay, what are the other issues, ma'am?
Like I said in the other one, of the flushing of the toilet, we were lifting the back up, just to flush the toilet in January and early February before I moved. That was not fixed. There's also, the furnace, he states that was turned off because non-payment of rent, or non-payment of, for the utilities, and that is not true. It was turned off because of the gas leak, for the gas and the water and light company.
Where's
So
the proof?
those,
Someone's gotta provide me some proof.
there's a tag. This one, ma'am, that shows that it was turned off for gas leak. It states it on there.
Consumers Energy Hazardous Conditions Notice, January 10th.
The space in the middle,
Who's
leakage of
Patricia
furnace.
Prince?
I'm sorry. That was my mom. She's deceased now. My utilities were in her name because of the issues I had with my divorce.
Dangerous.
So when
It says leaking at furnace pilot.
If I may.
Yes.
So this goes back to what you read in my answer. So I was contacted by Miss Brown about the furnace being tagged on January 10th. The same day at 6:01 a.m. I responded to her. These are all in these texts, by the way, my text, to be with Miss Brown. I informed the tenant that the furnace man would be there to repair the furnace around noon. At 10:39 a.m., Miss Brown informed me that the BWL shut her electric off for non-payment.
I did not say that.
It's all in the text. It's shut off. The furnace man cannot work on a furnace with no electricity on.
Wait, she texted you, you're saying that it was shut off?
That was shut off. That's in this text.
It was not for non-payment.
Okay, why was it shut off?
Because of the gas leak and because the services were in my mom's name and my mom is deceased now. So when she was deceased and I informed them.
When did your mom pass away?
August 23rd.
Oh, so it was fraud.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, this is January 2023.
Well, first of all, I had no idea of any of that being fraud.
That you can't have your utilities in a deceased person's name?
My mom was alive when they were. She passed away and they still were. So I didn't do anything illegal. She turned them on in her name when I first moved in that home. So she passed away August 29th. Me dealing and grieving with her and me the only one dealing with her funeral and getting that all together. I did not call and turn the utilities into my own name. So that was the dilemma for that. They turned it off. I called and told them.
They said they turned it off, you say, because of the leak?
The gas, Consumer Powers turned it off due to the leak. Border on Light turned it off because of the name change. As soon as I called them, spoke with the manager, it was turned back on within the hour at the end of that conversation. So it was not for non-payment. It was because of the name change because my mom was deceased.
Your Honor, if I may speak to this, please.
Yes.
Thank you. These are all in the text. This stuff is not
Can you show me
accurate.
where?
Yes, please show me.
So my text.
On the 10th?
It said the first page is 1034 at the very top. I have highlighted on the right, new furnace installed 1/12/23. So, as I mentioned, Miss Brown informs me on January 10th, at the middle of the night, that her furnace is tagged by Consumers Energy.
Because of the leak.
Because of gas leak. That happens. We have a great furnace man. So at 6:01 a.m. the very same day,
I see that.
I inform her that I would contact the furnace repairman to repair the furnace. The repairman was scheduled to arrive at noon. That's in the text. At 10:39 a.m., Miss Brown informed me that BWL shut off her electric.
It was not for non-payment.
Where's this? Wait, 10.
It would be this one here, ma'am.
Let me catch up.
This one here.
Okay, 10:39.
So 10:39, she informs me that the electricity is now off. The furnace man cannot work on a furnace and repair a furnace when the electricity is off. Also in the same text, on January 12th, she informs me the electric is back on and it's very cold.
I was just stating, still letting him know that
Furnace is still off,
taking
okay?
so long.
So now on the very same day that the electricity's back off, this is about as good as I can do. I get a furnace man out there to the house. He looks at the furnace. He says he can repair the furnace or he can replace it, but it's an older furnace. So I said, replace it. It's replaced on January 12th. I have my receipt the very same day that the electricity was turned on. I have my receipt for a brand new furnace.
Okay, I just want to first address the allegation that the board of water and light was cut off for non-payment. I have the text message here. Does it indicate that? She said board of water and light turned off for service. They needed you to either give her a new lease or you to call and verify that it was her in that property because she's using her mom's name. So what she's saying is why they turn it off is what I believe is happening. That's what she said, that they need to verify who lives in there. It's not you, because that person's deceased.
And I did call the board.
Yeah, and that was the same day. She's saying, can you do it today so they can get my service back on today? I don't know. Maybe they did cut it off for non-payment and that's what triggered them to know that person. I don't know how they came about knowing that your mom was not living in this property and you couldn't verify. I don't know. I don't really care. It was turned back on the same day, whether it was for non-payment of rent or because they needed to verify who lived in there. That still falls on you because you were living in a house with your mom's name on your utilities and she was deceased.
You're right, Your Honor. And I turned off her utilities and everything at her own place. And because, like I said, I'm the oldest child and I only had one sister. So I was the one dealing with all the funeral arrangements. And
I'm
everything.
sure you're still dealing with a ton of stuff.
And I am.
Right.
So therefore, I didn't mean to not turn it off. But once they notified me and everything was straightened back out.
I agree.
Everything's back in my
But
name.
that still falls on you because he's tried to get someone out there immediately, but now the electricity's turned off. So that means the person can't work because the electricity has to be turned back on.
But I let him know that the same day. And then this is just on the 12th.
Well, you can't, with service providers, if you tell somebody to go out and then you got to cancel because the electricity off, you don't get to just say, okay, it's back on. That's not how it works in service provision. So it sounds like he did the best he could to get someone back out immediately to get that back on. How long was the furnace down?
A whole week.
Okay, so you're suing for what? For the week that the furnace was down?
Me and my kids, and I guess I can't do that now because I don't have the receipt, but me and my kids were in the hotel for 3 days. All my stuff is still in storage. Yes, I did move across the street as he states in here, but there's a lot of things that are not true on here. But I did move across the street, but I'm staying with someone. That place is not in my name. It's not mine.
That's it.
Is still in storage.
It doesn't matter to the court whether it's in your name or not. You did indicate though that you vacated the property in January.
In February.
In February.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, and why did you vacate the property?
Because going through all the grieving and everything that I'm going through, this is not the first like harassment or eviction that I continuously get from him. And I felt like you're holding on to the rent check and I sent it out to you and I know I did. This is the address, the same handwriting, everything that I've done for the last 4.5 years. So him holding on, this is like the last tactic for me, going through the stuff that I've gone through. You're holding on to the rent now and I've sent you your rent every month or besides an agency or someone making sure your rent is paid. So therefore now at this point, it's like, I can't take anymore. My income is very low. He raises the rent up on me every December. I have kids that are still at home in high school. So that makes it very hard for me. When I moved in there, I paid $825. Every December, he's raising the rent up on me and my income now with disability is $900. And I still figure out a way to make sure that he gets his rent, even if he's holding on to it or not.
May I, Your Honor, speak to this furnace thing first of all? The text says, she said she didn't have heat for a full week. And that's her own fault because of the electricity. But on January 10th, she told me in this text that the furnace was out. On January 10th, I make arrangements to have somebody there. At 10:39 a.m. the same day, January 10th, she tells me that now the electricity's off. I said, okay, let me know when it's back on. I call the Board of Water and Light on her behalf. She lets me know on January 12th that it's back on.
Your Honor.
On January 12th, I have a brand new furnace installed. She was not out for 7 days. That's 3 days, and it's only because of her. We could have fixed the furnace or replaced it the same day that she called. but we can't work in a furnace with electricity on.
So how do we get 7 days when you notified him on the 10th? And then he had to cancel because your electricity was out, and then the next text message I get is that the electric is back on. That was on the 12th, 2 days later.
Because first of all, Your Honor, we made phone calls in between that the text messages don't show. So therefore, he did know on the 10th that it was back on an hour after we had this conversation. The text is just confirming that the electricity is back on, so why hasn't he coming back out here? And I'm sorry, I don't believe I said 7 days. Me and my kids were out of the home from Monday till Friday. So we were 3 days in the hotel within that week. So no, not 7 days, a total of 5 days. So this started on Monday and the furnace was installed on Friday early afternoon. So meaning we couldn't come back home until Friday night when the house warmed back up.
It's all in the text, Your Honor.
But there was phone calls, Your Honor, that these texts do not show. Because we spoke verbally.
Okay, he will be there in about an hour. That was on the, what, the 12th? What day is that? Okay, he said.
January 10th is when he was first coming. And then on January 10th, she says that Board and Water Light just turned off her service. Then she lets me know on January 12th, it's back on. On January 12th, I get a furnace man there.
There's a text message here. It says, that's on the 12th, I believe. It says, you said, Mr. Dowrick, he will be there in about an hour. She says, okay. She says, okay. He said tomorrow. That means I can't stand here again tonight. So how are we going to do my home arrangements for tonight? Last two were on me because of the name issue, but the gas was off today due to gas leak. So you admit that you were responsible for the 2 nights that you stayed in the hotel because of the name issue.
Yes, ma'am.
And so then the 12th, I guess when this text was sent, that night you wanted to know how he was going to make arrangements to put you up for that night, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so from that night, and how long did it take for the gas to be repaired?
It was not, the furnace was repaired on Friday afternoon. So me and the kids couldn't go home till Friday night.
I don't know what day this is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is Thursday, so the next day.
So the next day.
So it
yes,
was
ma'am.
1 day.
And it was fixed the same day, that day.
Well, it looks like the next day it was fixed.
Well, it was fixed on January 12th, the same day she told me the electricity was on. That's great service. I was very happy with the furnace man.
It wasn't until Friday.
I think there was a receipt for the furnace in here. Where is it? Is that yours or his?
Yeah, this was in his. It says the 12th, that might have been when he wrote it out, but Friday was the day that me and the kids came back home. Because I had to come and let him in and sit in my living room.
Replaced 50-year-old furnace. We made sure you noted that. Okay, I'll give her the 1 day, okay. What are the other issues? Because when I asked you why you moved, you didn't mention any habitability issues. You said it was harassment.
That and just not any of the repairs being done, and with my health issues with my heart. I didn't have the heart attack or any of my issues until I moved in there. The nurses and the doctor that came in, and even I had one guy, which I don't have proof for it, because like I said, all my stuff is still in storage.
Okay, but let me stop you because you're saying no repairs, but you didn't tell me what anything was except for a leak in the basement.
Oh, no. They're in. If you go to the Brad, Texas, the Texas to Brad's house, those are just the name out of my phone. And then No, these are just the ones that. Yes, I have those. We can just start with this one. This one has a few of the names on it. Or a few of the things that were just listed that I had been complaining about just in January, in the end of November, December, when my rent was raised. I believe there's a statement in there also that explains about him raising my rent and not wanting to do any of the repairs. It also states in there some of the repairs that I asked for. And mind you,
What are those repairs, ma'am?
I'm sorry.
What are the repairs that you asked for, and when did you ask for them?
His son Brad came and changed the dishwasher, but it still kicked off a funky smell in the
When
whole
was
kitchen.
this?
It's in the January 10th Texas. I can't remember.
That's when he replaced it?
No, this is when I complained again about those issues.
Okay, I don't need to know complaining again. I need to know initial complaints, because if you're going to counter sue and say that you had a habitability issue, which is essentially that you were forced to move out of the property, regardless of of you paying your rent because of the condition of the property, then you got to show me where you had these issues and you notified them and that they didn't address them. You can't send me a text message that took place after the 10th, or after you all are having a discussion about the past due rent about and just running off a list where you didn't show me where he had no notice of these things prior to.
Okay. Like I said, Your Honor, this is my phone. I got another phone, so all of my texts and pictures did not transfer over.
Okay, and you no longer have access to that phone, is what you're saying?
No, I don't. Everything is still in storage, and I can't get to it because everything that was in my room was in the back, because it was like the first stuff that was put in there. So I've tried to get to it, and I'm unsuccessful with it.
Okay,
But,
so you don't have any evidence that you believe you could use to support your counterclaim?
Just the Texas, just stating that, like, I asked about the dishwasher, the basement leaking, the bathtub has, none of the sinks in the bathtub had the covers over them. So the bathroom, I don't know why the tub, but it stayed frozen in there. The tub would be cold, the hot water wouldn't even stay hot when you ran the tub water.
Maybe because there was a furnace issue.
That could be true as well. But I also stated that, I stated before about the mold and everything around the side. Brad came, or one of the maintenance men, and re-caulked it all, but of course it started coming back.
So you're saying that there was mold in the property?
Yes, ma'am.
You have proof of the mold in the property?
I don't, like I said, because I was not able to issue that man $700. I had one gentleman from a company come, and because I didn't pay him the $700, he could not tell me everything and give me the statement of that. And I didn't know that at the time that I set the appointment, that I would have to pay the $700.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is where we are. It doesn't appear to me that you have any evidence to support your allegations, because I don't believe, I'm not saying that I don't believe that you had issues, but you have to support that with evidence. It can't just be, I'm gonna show you a text message from January where I told him about this after this eviction was pending. I need to see some evidence that could be in different forms. It could have been you had someone come out and inspect, or the city came out and inspected and found and cited for these issues, because that could have easily happened. You could have called code enforcement.
The city's been out to the house.
And they cited for these issues, and you provide me with that report to read. Or you could have had pictures of these myriad of issues or videos of things that you said are happening or took place in the property that prevented you from staying in the property. And so you can't say that you suffered a constructive eviction without showing me those things. I have to see something. That can't just be your word against his word. I need to see some pictures of something. The only thing I have right now are pictures of water or a leak in a basement. And to be quite honest, I'm not even sure what that came from. And the pictures are not close up enough to really help me see even what this is. This appears on the corner of the wall that maybe it could be a mold, or it could be a stain. I don't know, because it's not, A, I'm not a mold expert, and then B, the picture's not even close enough for me to see that. The second picture, there's a puddle of water, but nobody took a picture to show me where the water was coming from.
That's where it's coming from, Your Honor. It's right here out of it's coming up out of the ground. And I do, like I said, I do have one video of the water pouring.
This is the basement?
Yes, ma'am. But this is where my washer and dryer is as well.
And that was what was causing water? Did it rain that day? Was there
This is whenever the snow melts and it rains, any of that.
in the basement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sounds good.
But this right here is coming out of the floor. It's coming up out of the floor.
Okay.
The other hole that you've seen there, like the video, there's not even a picture of the main one where there's a big hole in the wall, on the side of the wall, and the water just pours. It's pouring out like you got a water hose and it's just pouring it.
Okay. And so, Mr. Dowick, your claim is that she still owes you rent for February and March?
Yes.
Why March? She said she moved in February.
Miss Brown, the way and Brad Dowrick's here to testify, he found out by talking to the tenant on the other side of the duplex that Miss Brown moved out on February 28th.
That's not true.
She did not tell us she moved out. We did not know that she moved out. So on February 28th, the tenant next door, Brad Dowrick can testify, says that she moved across the street. Okay, so then we put it up for rent, have pictures of the way she left it. And it was re-rented, as I mentioned, on April 21st. Therefore, no 30-day notice was given. She's renting on a month-to-month basis. So I'm asking for rent for February and March. And then if she would have gave her 30-day notice, it would have been rented by the time she moved out. And then the court fees that apply.
Ma'am, did you give them notice when you vacated?
No, I didn't. But
why is that?
Because like I said, I was still furious about him holding on to the January's rent. So when I left, first of all, the neighbors were not even home. Their cars, I knocked on the door.
Well, I don't really care whether they were home or not.
Okay,
I want to know, one thing I want to know is, did you're a month-to-month tenant?
Yes.
You know, you have a responsibility to notify them when you're going to vacate.
Well, yes, I did, Your Honor, but like I said, I didn't because of the harassment with him and holding on to January's check. So
Okay.
by the time Brad contacted me, I was already gone. They didn't know that. Brad said that he was gonna be there at the house for repairs the following week. He never showed up until the 28th. I could see that across the street. That's why the neighbor was able to tell him the 28th. He didn't come until then. I have the text messages that show that Brad was gonna come to the house around 14th or 15th or so of January. I'm sorry, of February.
To do what?
To do repairs. I have that text. He did not
Repairs
show up.
based on what?
The text message that I had sent him previously. He did not show up at all. And I sat across the street and watched. For the whole 2 weeks, he didn't show up until the end of the month, Your Honor. So that's when they found out I moved. But I was already gone.
So you were gone in January then?
I know. This is February. I'm sorry. We're talking about February. This is in February because I have, like I said, the texts of Brad saying he was gonna come. Brad, I was already gone.
Okay. So you vacated in February. You don't believe you're liable for February rent?
No.
Why is that?
Because I feel like Mr. Todd pushed me out of the household with all of the dang on harassment and non-repairs. I've been asking repairs for over years and they barely come.
Let me see some text messages where you asked for repairs don't show me these January 2023 text messages. Show me some other ones.
I don't have any of them. This is all that I printed out.
Okay.
This is all.
You have some other ones at home.
Yeah, if I can get a hold to my phone, I do.
You got to show me something because you didn't give me anything today to help you prove that you had notified them that you had some habitability issues that they failed to make repairs to.
Well, we can go all the way through the text from the time I moved in, if I can go back to my phone, but the ones that I have.
I'm not gonna go through all those text messages, but you are making the claim that you notified them that there was habitability issues and that they did not address them. And so I need you to provide evidence because the one thing you did mention that they were notified of was that there was an issue with the furnace, and the evidence that I have before me shows that they fixed the furnace immediately.
Okay, well.
And I'm gonna give you the one day, I'm gonna make them pay you for the one day of the hotel stay. But then what about the rest of the stuff?
Right, so I still stated about the issues with the mold and the dishwasher, the sinks.
How do we know it's
um,
mold? Did you can't just,
I can't give you the proof of that, like I
Yeah, I
said,
gotta
the
have some
gentleman
proof.
didn't give me that.
that's what the court's all about. It's about the proofs.
Okay, well, if I guess if I can get more time, then I can.
I'll
look
adjourn
through
it.
the
You can
rest
bring
of
me
the
some
stuff.
proof. You get one
Right.
last adjournment to bring me some proof. Otherwise, your
Well, this-
counterclaim has to be denied because you can't support it.
Okay, I'm really tired of just dealing with this and him, but these are the text messages of Brad saying that he was gonna come. Yes, was I gonna be home for the inspector to come after they had did the furnace? Then this is on February 1st that he was gonna come by, I'm sorry, that's the inspector. That he was gonna come over on Thursday to do the repairs. This is on February 28th. I was already gone from there.
Okay.
I don't have anything else. and I'm
So that's
ready-
when you already said you were escrowing February rent for them to make the repairs.
Yes.
Okay, and but you already left, so you don't know if they came and made the repairs.
They didn't. They never came over to the house at all.
How do you know? You say you were already gone.
Because I live directly across the street and I can see, I don't work. I'm on disability. I have very bad health issues.
So you've been watching the property, so you,
Yes, I have.
okay, but
Yeah.
someone else has moved into that property,
They
correct?
have.
Okay,
Yes, they have.
okay. So you don't know, no one went in there to get a property ready for new people to move in?
Not until then, not till after that, no.
Okay,
I have told Mr. Dowick about the people that live next door to us and when they move. He's let people come in and look at the place without even not one person coming in and cleaning, not a thing. And I told him that. I let him know because of all the issues and I have text messages of that because of there was so much going on. And I'm like, please evict these people because it's just too much going on.
did you have electrical work done on his property?
No, ma'am. The ceiling fans, that's another issue. The ceiling fans that were put in there, Your Honor, my uncle Raven Brown was working for him at the time. That's how I got the information about this property. The other maintenance man that worked with my uncle is not in the courtroom, but he is the gentleman that my uncle discussed with, and then we called Todd while I was there in the property and told him about the ceiling fans because the house had no central air or anything. Todd said that it would be okay under my expense.
You were present for this conversation?
Yes, ma'am. I called on my
Okay.
phone, but the maintenance man was standing right there and so was my uncle Raven Brown.
What happened to the light fixtures that were there?
I don't know because once I left and went to Menards and bought all four of the ceiling fans. I brought them back. I left them there in the home. The maintenance man and my uncle said that they would put them up. I don't even know where the boxes are from the ceiling fans. So if the fixtures was taken down from that, it had to do with his maintenance man. I was there for 4.5 years and never seen any of those light fixtures.
Okay. There's an allegation that you left garbage in the kitchen, garage, and yard and deck. Do you have evidence?
Yes, I have all the pictures right here of everything that was left. The way the property was left.
I don't think I left anything. My dad and my boys are the ones that went over and cleaned up the trampoline and the patio furniture. My kids went over and cleaned up and walked right across the street to our yard. I left a used washer and dryer that I did use.
I don't think it's a washer and dryer. I don't know what this is.
I left a used
Is this like
washer
a
and dryer.
cabinet? Is that what that is?
There was no
I think it's some
cabinet.
type of cabinet. I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
There was no cabinets
Something
left,
like
but
that.
Your Honor, I left a used washer and dryer that was.
Okay,
workable.
I'm gonna give you a chance to look at these and then you can talk about it, but you can't
Okay.
talk while I'm reviewing evidence. And these are date stamped, ma'am, just so we're clear.
Okay.
What is this supposed to be a picture of?
The screen. There's a screen in that window.
Why is that, is you're saying that the screen was
I have no
messed up or something? I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay. Looks like there's a mirror, some envelopes or something.
Probably a missing screen, Your Honor.
Looks like there's some things under
Yeah.
the sink. Not sure. There's some bags. There are lots of things in trash bags here. This the door stopper?
Yes.
Okay. What is this? It's showing that someone drove on the,
That's where they must have drove a truck on the lawn. And
Okay.
made big gouges in the
That
yard.
wasn't our truck. That was the neighbors.
okay, can you show these pictures, Miss Brown, please?
Can I comment on them as?
Yes, you may.
Okay, this picture here is not mine, the dirt ones that you just seen. I had my kids and I had nothing to do with that. This is not mine.
Whose is it?
I don't know.
It was in March.
I don't even own anything like this. My
Why
patio
was it on your
furniture.
unit?
I don't know, Your Honor. Like I said, I moved in the middle of February. What's here now, I have no idea. My patio furniture is the brown wicket with red cushions.
Correct, but why was that in your property? Because I can tell you right now, this is right after they noticed that you were there, because you never told them.
But this is March 29th, if you look at the date.
I recognize it, but you didn't tell them that you had vacated the property until in the middle of a court date, and then they said they heard it from a neighbor. So why would they be in there in February looking at a property?
This is March 29th. He told him February 28th is when he noticed I was gone. So anything there, even there afterward, this picture was taken on the 29th. Anything could have been put there at all. I
Oh, you
promise
believe that they wouldn't put some stuff there to take a picture of?
Oh, you should have seen what the previous neighbors have done moving out. So yes.
What previous neighbors?
Before, I've been in that property 4.5 years. There's been 2 different sets of neighbors besides the lady that just moved out this month.
Correct. We had a hearing on March 29th. You said you moved out the first week of February, which is probably why they went over and took those pictures that day.
Yes, but the dates again, Your Honor.
But you know whose fault this is?
Yes, probably because I didn't.
Not a probably.
Yeah.
This is absolutely
But
your
this is
fault
not mine.
because you had a duty, you had a responsibility when you vacated, for whatever reason you vacated. I'm leaving now because listen to what I'm saying, because I feel like I'm being forced out of the property for these reasons. And I'm leaving the property in broom swept condition. Come do a walkthrough with me. You did this. So if they came and had a whole party in there and tore the property up, guess what? You opened the door for this because you didn't handle your responsibility. Now you can't prove that they did that because you weren't there for the proper walkthrough.
But I also sent, I forgot to tell also, Your Honor, I also mailed the key, the one key back to him on February 19th.
You received the key on February 19th?
I mailed, put it back.
And maybe they'll get it next month. Maybe it's held up where the check was held up.
I did put that key in the mail. I did not put a letter in it. I just put the address on a piece of paper. It states Renee Brown, 2727 Stone Lake, Lansing, Michigan. And it was one key in there.
So you just mailed a key.
I just mailed
didn't tell them what was going on.
I didn't.
And you think that's effective adult communication?
At that point, no, but this is kind of the level that I'm getting from
Yeah,
him.
but this is business, same
I
person.
understand. But I do want to say, Your Honor, I promise that this is not mine.
Okay, keep going.
The windows, Brett, whoa. This is the opposite porch, Your Honor. This is not even my porch. This is on the opposite side of my bedroom.
So it's a duplex?
Window. Yes, it's a duplex. My patio is on this side. This patio here is directly on the side of my bedroom window. So if you see, this is right here would be my bedroom window. This is the opposite people's patio. This is not my stuff. This is not my patio.
Okay, keep going.
I don't know what he's showing on the windows, but all of the blinds and everything I bought, so that doesn't matter. The screens, Brad, no, we've talked about the screens many a times because I've asked for them to be put back in there in the screens, except for the windows that have air conditioners in it, which I purchased as well. This trash, that car, not mine.
Whose is it?
The neighbors.
Is that where you park?
No, I park on this side.
Okay, so.
But since this is all here, I haven't been able to park in this driveway in probably about 4 or 5 months, even through the winter.
So the neighbors was occupying your side of the.
This is
parking?
the trash from the neighbors. This vehicle here is the lady daughter. It's been in the garage
So
for about 4 months.
you were lawfully supposed to be able to park where this trash was?
Yes, ma'am.
And you notified them that they were keeping trash there?
I have pictures from the previous people, not this one, because I got tired of it. Like I said, my mom just passed away. That was my best friend. All this extra drama and stuff, I just did not want to deal with. That's why I moved. I'm tired. I just want my peace. I lost my mom, and that's all I had.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm like, why continue to contact them and they're not coming doing any repairs? I've gotten so many letters from the city and they come directly to me. These are the neighbors and I've contacted him, and I have texts in my other phone and this one that I've told him, this is not my stuff. This is the neighbor stuff. Can you come over here and see what is going on?
Okay.
So this is not mine. This, I'm not sure about. I had a stolen refrigerator that was removed out of that unit.
So it looks like it's a hole in a door stopper.
And
which
this
what
is at
point
the
of
front
stopper
door,
is
so
for.
it could.
Replace the door stopper.
Yes, I'm not gonna stop that. I'm not gonna disagree with that. This is not on my unit.
I don't know what that is.
It's a cabinet.
Without a door, without the door missing.
Oh, but he was told, Brad was told that. Brad has came back and fixed it once and
So you
came
said
back
it
off
wasn't your
again.
unit?
I was looking at it again because he said it's the closet. Yes.
Okay.
This is the closet door in the hallway. The door was taken off the second time after Brad fixed it, and it no longer stayed up. So it was standing in the second room directly across from it. The closet door is standing right there. So it's not like it's missing or anything. They were informed about that as well. I don't know what this is. It's just the floor that's completely clean. There was nothing on the floors. I'm not sure about this trash. The bags do not look familiar, none of this, but whatever on that. Oh no, all these bags are not mine. There was
Whose are they?
I don't know. They could have came, like I said, the patio and everything could have came from next door. These are not mine.
Oh, so when you vacated, you think that the people next door came in the property?
I don't, they could have, I don't know, because the ones that was next door, I'm telling you, Your Honor, it was so much going on over there. There were people
They
coming in
probably
and
do.
out.
Listen, if you vacate a property improperly, squatters can come in and do whatever.
Well, they sure came in next door before he even rented it to the lady
I
that's
believe
next
it.
door now.
It could happen.
This, no, that's not mine. That's probably trash that was put out there from the neighbors that some animal came and ate because they had a dog next door as well. This is the same store, door stopper. I don't recall any of this. I don't know where that came from. The stuff under the sink, maybe so. I think I left my vases in. So that may be mine. Can't use too much of nothing. I don't recall this. We don't have pink in our house. My daughter doesn't even like pink. These screens, these are one of the complaints that I've always had because they don't fit. As you see, it's pushed in up there, sticking out down here. I always had to go back and push them in so the bees and the flies were not coming in the kitchen. This is not in my unit. And I don't believe these, all right, this is the address. This is not my unit.
So that's not your unit?
No.
But you have a tenant in the other unit.
There's somebody living in the other unit, yeah.
She's moved out, Your Honor.
When did she move out?
The beginning of March, I want to say. She's no longer there. I seen the truck and there's a new people in the unit that I was in, but the unit that the young lady was in that he said, told him when I moved out, she's not there.
Okay. So you see how he came with evidence to support the claim that you did those things to his property?
Yes, ma'am.
You got to bring me some evidence to claim that you had conditions that were so unbearable that you were constructively evicted from the property, and that's why your rent should not be paid for February and or March, if that's what your claim is, okay?
Okay, so why would I be entitled for March if I had already allowed?
Well, you didn't notify them.
And even
So-
though the keys were mailed out and all,
He said he hasn't received it.
but he said he didn't receive the rent either.
Well, he cashed that,
it.
so we know he
Exactly.
received that, but he just got a key in the mail or something's in the mail. He said he never received it. You had a responsibility that you really bombed. Like, you can't just go putting the key in the mailbox because you're mad. Yeah, there's a lot of times that as adults, we get mad about stuff. We still gotta handle our business, especially when it relates to stuff that's tied up to your credit.
Oh, and on the bottom also, Judge Ward, the last time that we were here, she asked him to make a report that was not on my report of eviction or rental or whatever, because of the issue that we came across in October.
I'm not sure. You said the stuff on the bottom of what?
I'm sorry, the negative remarks number 9.
Oh, okay.
Judge Ward asked him to take those off as well last time we were in court in October.
Okay.
So
Because
there
of
are
some-
remarks
Because
because
of some property conditions.
yes, because I have.
So you had an
so just
eviction in this property before Judge Ward?
I get them all the time from him.
Okay, but my follow-up question. And there was a ruling as it relates to the condition of the property?
I'm not sure. what
Well,
you
why
mean.
did she tell you to take stuff off?
She
Tell him to take
asked
stuff
him
off
to
because
take
of
it off
condition of the
because it
property?
was, because the eviction, I guess, was not right or whatever. She told him that he could not evict me as long as my rent was paid. So January, when my rent was paid, this is where we are now. So in October, she said it was because he tried to evict me in 5 days and the rent was paid or whatnot. We went through all of that. At the end of the court session, she told him to take off whatever negative remarks that he had on it. And there are some because, like I said, I'm living with someone, so I have been trying to get rental property other places, and I can't because of this.
If there was an order before Judge Ward as it relates to those negative remarks that you believe was violated, then you can file a motion to show cause before Judge Ward on that order. And she can address that. I can't address that. That was not before me. What I will do is give you a brief adjournment to allow you to access your records and find notices from the city, find text messages and or pictures, video, whatever other evidence, or bring in your other tenant witnesses that live there with you to testify to support your claim.
My children?
If they're of age and can testify to the condition of the property, then they can be put under oath. The same way he brought his witness, they can testify under oath as to the conditions of the property and or your request to have certain things fixed and that were not fixed, because right now all I have are the allegations. Now you need to support those allegations, okay?
Okay. Can we kind of push this court date out? I have a sick daughter and I also have graduation.
Oh, well, we are pretty tied up anyway, so it's really not gonna be anytime soon, I'm sure.
I have to be able to get into the store. It's a mess.
June 21st. At what time? 2. What's going on June 21st?
I'm in the way. I'll be in Florida. I already have my ticket.
I could have added them on.
I'm gone the following 2 weeks. After that.
Everybody's got some. July what? You can do July 12th at 2:30. July 12th at 2:30.
July 12th.
At 2:30. Okay, do you have any questions for the courts at this time? Any additional matters for today? Okay, we'll see everyone July 12th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. On July 11th. Bring me this file. I can rewatch this video. Okay. I'm sorry. That's it. We're gonna give you a notice to appear.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
You got it.